Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another edition of Problem Solved. Been wanting to get this pool closing tutorial up just to show you how I closed up mine. It's been taking a couple of weeks. Life has gotten in the way, so simply turned on the filter. I had pre-shocked the pool. I had gotten that winterizing kit that you saw there. The instructions do say superchlorinate, which basically means shock your pool beforehand. I turned on the filter. It does say to vacuum as well first in preparation before putting in the winterizing kit contents. So I have this robo vacuum or whatever. It actually works fairly well unless it gets hung up on a wall, which it does from time to time. I got this winterizing chemical kit online, and you basically you want to follow the instructions on the kit. It's pretty simple. I'm going to obviously first open up the kit, and I'll show you the contents. It's basically 2 bottles of liquid and a bottle of powder, and we have a winter stain out. We have this other winterizing liquid, and it's pretty simple. Obviously, there's just 3 contents, ingredients: the winterizer there, and the stain out, and then the powder, which is I guess somewhat of like a superchlorinating shock. But the kit you could buy online. Probably I got this one fairly cheap. It was only about 25 bucks. I don't know, seemed pretty good to me. Instructions are easy. Tells you what to add first. As you saw in the beginning of the video, turned on the filter, got that circulating, got the vacuum going. You're gonna pour this around the pool, and till it's empty. And it said around the perimeter of the pool. So I walked around, tried to evenly pour out this chemical into the pool. So this is the stain out first, and once that's finished, we move on to the next bottle as per the instructions on the winterizing kit. So that's pretty much the end of that. Finished up the winter stain out. Now we go on to the liquid winterizer. It's, I guess, a winterizing conditioner. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pour it out around the perimeter of the pool, walk it around, and try and get it to, I guess, completely cover the perimeter of the pool. It's basically just to make sure it's spread out evenly, and dilutes or dissolves evenly into the water. And once we finish that, I'll show you the next step. All right, so once the winterizer, the conditioner there, second component is dissolved or finished, being poured in, we go to the powder. Winterizing powder, we want to do the same thing. You just simply sprinkle it around the perimeter as you walk around the pool, and try and get it to cover, all the way around the pool. Now, once that's finished, instructions say make sure your pool is clean and vacuumed. I brushed the liner, try and get any debris off. Obviously if there's a leaf or something in the pool, before you close it, it's going to be sitting there and rotting away and staining your liner. My vacuum does pretty well, but it doesn't cover every area. It doesn't pick up every leaf. So I went ahead with the net. I got a net with a long pole, and I went and picked up any leaves that were visible. Didn't go nuts. It was pretty darn clean, to be honest. There was a few that snuck in the interim time between when I decided I should close up this pool and when I actually got the time to do it. So I pulled out whatever leaves I could find and little debris on the surface of the liner, and then move on to the next step. It's Rich again from Problem Solved. I'm continuing with my bleach, borax, and baking soda, or BBB pool care method. Taking a sample again below 12 to 18 inches. Yeah, I wanted to do a check, make sure what
from the
levels
pool water
we have.
And
I did a whole
you're
series
gonna notice probably, or maybe
your
not.
pool,
Skipped a couple of days. I'm saving you guys
chemical
the bore
makeup or
of
testing
watching another couple of videos, but I did
chemicals
consistently keep testing.
And,
the results
pretty
was
simple with the
basically
test
what I
strips.
would expect.
So this is
if you don't make any changes at all to your pool water, eventually chlorine levels
you got to run those chemicals
decrease, and the pH will probably decrease as well. That's expected. So
I think it was on the
we're gonna see here
but something
with
like
this
4 hours
test,
at least. So I ran those
my
through,
pH is going to be
and I wanted to get
definitely on the
check
low
of
side,
the actual chemicals,
because it was trending in that
the
direction.
levels, of chlorine, pH.
We'll take a look here in just a minute.
In the pool right
see
now.
the colors there. Chlorine again is on top.
You want a little
chlorine.
extra. Obviously, it's going to sit over the winter. It's not going to be hot
That's
baking
in the
the sun,
purple
depending on
range.
what area.
It's pretty
you're in.
dark, so chlorine is good.
I'm in
That's on the
East
high
Coast,
side.
I guess
that
US.
means it's good.
So
And
we get some
we're
pretty
going to leave
cold
the chlorine
winters.
for now.
I don't
keep
need,
it where it's at.
I don't think I'm
We're
going
not
to
going to add any more
super
chlorine, but you can see the
chlorinated, but
pH. We didn't get a good
check that the
reading
levels
here.
are kind of in range. I guess
the color
sufficient
actually bled,
to go,
but
throughout
I know
the
it's
winter.
low. It was trending
Really,
low.
I'm doing this for the first time on this
I
pool.
would expect that.
So this is more of a
being that
documenting
low,
and
that means we're
testing
going to need to raise
of
it.
this
You raise the
process to
pH
winterize. We'll see how it
using
ends up.
borax.
The start of the new
And
season.
My pool's about
stay tuned
14
for that.
or maybe
I guess,
15,000 gallons.
I'm planning on
and
doing a
I'm going to
whole,
use one box.
tutorial as
So
well.
with those levels,
on the opening.
I'm going to add one box.
I saw
and
my
then test
pH
again
was low
over the next couple of
and,
days and see how
pH
that
is so that I guess
change
it's a buffer to
in
kind of
pH
be able to
occurs.
other than
So I'm
affecting
showing you here,
your skin,
you simply get the
or
borax.
burning of the
I get
eyes.
mine from
you
Walmart,
want the pH level to
and
be
you sprinkle it
in
around
range.
the
But
entire
it's also a
peripheral,
buffer, I guess, to kind of
or edge,
kind of
the pool.
Affects how easily the
rectangular.
chlorine is adjustable.
And again, it's the 16 by
the higher the
32.
pH, the harder it is, I
So
guess, to
I
get
got
the
a lot of
chlorine
distance to cover.
Adjust.
But
borax.
the whole idea
using
is
the
you wanna
BBB pool
sprinkle
care
it as
method. I did a
evenly
whole
as
series
possible.
on that. The borax will raise the
anytime
pH.
you're adding a powder.
So I'm going to go with a
you
whole
don't want
box
any clumps.
for this
I know this was a
winterizing.
new box I just purchased.
Being that it's going to be in there,
usually
few
over
months and
time
sit.
it'll clump.
So I just poured in the box of
basically
borax.
add the
and,
borax.
I'm
and
just
going to
go with
the
that
next
for the
couple
sake of
days.
time. I don't have a lot of it.
Keep watching,
and I
because I'm
think
gonna
that
show you
should
how
be
that
sufficient
chemistry
for the pool
changes.
closing.
Thanks again for watching, sticking with Problem Solved. I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, please comment, like, and definitely subscribe. And appreciate your time and support. And I'll definitely see you on the next one.
All right, so I had all the chemicals pretty much dissolved, ran through the filter at least 4 hours. I got these pool pillows and actually went a second time and bought more because, again, this is sort of an experiment. First time with this pool and winterizing. I used to just take the pool down, completely disassemble and put it away. I had no problems that way, but this one's too big for me to bother doing that. Little trick with the pool pillows, you take a wet vac or shop vac and you reverse the hose, put the hose on the outlet hole instead of the inlet. Instead of a vacuum, it acts as a blower, and you could simply
quickly blow up these pool pillows using that shop vac. The other thing on these Intex pools, they come with these plugs. It's trying to figure out which way they actually go, because it doesn't specify in the instructions. But they fit perfectly on the inside. So on the inside of the pool returns, the pool valves, plug up the inside and then turn the valve into the closed or off position, like I'm doing here, locked, which is really closed. And then you can actually just disassemble, unscrew the valve off of the pool. I couldn't see any other way of really doing this, so I think this is the only way I can figure in my mind right now how this works. So we have the plugs on the inside. It came with 3. Now I'm assuming all 3 go on the inside of the pool, which was the case. This one here I wasn't really sure about. This is the actual inlet into the pool. This is where the filter is pushing the water into the pool, but that also requires the plug on the inside. I'll show you just here in a second what we wound up doing. Actually wound up leaving part of it hanging off the side of the pool. This is the only way I could figure. So these 2 on the side, those are the those are the strainers, I guess. That's the inlet into the filter. It's sucking the water in. So the plugs are on the inside wall of the pool, and that was airtight, watertight. There was no leaking once those plugs are inserted there. The other one is the actual, I guess, return into the pool. That's the water that you'd see, pushing into the pool from the filter, the cleaned water. And that one I had to leave hanging off, part of it hanging off. I left it locked, but plugged from the inside. Try and get a shot of that here. See, I plugged it in the strainer hole and locked it up. Again, a little bit of an experiment. I couldn't see how else that could be done with the 3 plugs that were provided. So I'm gonna hope for the best, hope that nothing freezes and cracks over the winter. Then you're just gonna really remove the tubes from the filter. These are all the lines that are going to the pool. Simply disconnect them from the filter. I also open this valve on the filter itself. You want to drain any bit of water that you can out of the filter for the winter. The filter is filled with sand. It's quite heavy. I chose to leave mine in place. See how this works out, but I'm not going to be lifting it and transporting it into the garage this year. I'm going to drain it out. I'm going to let it sit a few days outside before I actually wrap it with a tarp. I like keeping things, as much as possible out of direct sunlight and the weather, the elements. Most of the time it works out perfectly. So stay tuned for the next part, and we'll continue with the winterizing and closing of the Intex pool. And see you on the next one. Don't forget to comment, like, or subscribe. And I'll keep making these as long as they keep helping you. Thanks again for watching.